Hello and welcome to Busting the Narrative. I'm James Morrow, and we are now at a fascinating point in American politics where the narrative is busting itself. For months, heck, years, a compliant media has told us that we should not believe the bumbling Biden clips we see all the time on our screens. Instead, behind the scenes, they wanted us to think the man is a political mastermind. Just look at this guy.
You guys hit me four. I'm winning. Five in a row. You guys only look at the New York Times. They're a great paper.
Well, turns out not even the New York Times is buying that one, as we'll see as we go busting the narrative. So, 5 polls that aren't being reported on. Really? Well, sorry, mate, but every poll average these days has Trump gaining ground on Joe Biden. Pollster Nate Silver has reported that, far from being polarizing, Trump is now starting to attract swing voters. And the New York Times, yes, that New York Times, in what may be, I think, another effort at battle space preparation or narrative shaping for when they do decide to change the nominee, now says that a majority of Biden's 2020 voters believe Joe Biden himself is too old to be an effective president. This is what the Times said, quote, "The misgivings about Mr. Biden's age cut across generations, gender, race, and education, underscoring the president's failure to dispel both concerns within his own party and Republican attacks painting him as senile. 73% of all registered voters said he was too old to be effective, and 45% said he could not do the job," unquote. Here's where things get even more ominous. Notes the Times, quote, "This unease, which has long surfaced in polls and in quiet conversations with Democrat officials, appears to be growing as Mr. Biden moves towards formally capturing his party's nomination," unquote. Now, here's the thing. That same paper, which has done so much to cover for Biden and boost the Democrats in the past, also reports that no matter race, age, or gender, more voters say Trump's policies have helped them than Biden's. Well, it's really interesting there. But here's something even more scary for the Democrats. The Times also says that the White House is trying, wait for it, a new strategy that, God help us all, means letting Joe be Joe. Well, let's have a look at the performance of the president over the past 24 hours and see how that's gone for them.
In fact, some of the small snack companies, you won't and think you won't even notice what they're doing. When they charge you just as much for the same size bag of potato chips, only has a hell of a lot fewer chips in it. I'll tell you who did notice, the Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster? Okay. What about the economy, sir?
Fair competition is the key to my economic vision. To build an economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down. And it's working.
The economic fission. Yeah, you can feel the heat there. And also feel the vigor.
With that, I'm going to turn this over to Lael, the Director of National Economic Council. But I'm supposed to leave for a meeting with the Business Roundtable on the telephone. But I'm going to hang around and listen a little bit. So with your permission, I'd like to stay and my staff will tell me when the drop-dead hour occurs.
Yes, this is what you get when you let Joe be Joe.
I have a lot of questions. I better not start the questions. I'll get in trouble.
What's your message for Super Tuesday voters? Everyone, please move this way. Super Tuesday said, do you have a message for voters? Thanks, come on.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Seems like the old vigorous Joe narrative is busting itself, and even the New York Times has noticed. Thanks for watching. I am James Morrow, and to support this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. below. And I'll see you next time for more Busting the Narrative. Bye-bye.